have noticed throughout the month of March, we have been showcasing women who have done some amazing things in the community, who have been just breaking down doors, who are doctors, who are lawyers, who have their own companies, who have done some tremendous things. And so we are just celebrating women all month long. And so today I have the pleasure of introducing you to Miss Jasmine Raylin. Hey, Jasmine.
Yay! Hi,
And
Erin.
I am so excited today to talk to you. We got connected through social media, I think through a group that we're in, and I have watched some of the things and then found out that you lived in Washington State,
Yeah,
and I don't know you. Most times we know
crazy.
everybody. but
Right.
but Jasmine Raylin has a company called the Elite Marketing Firm, and you also are a publicist, correct? So,
Correct.
a publicist, and she owns a marketing firm, and she's going to tell us a little bit about that. So, Jasmine, tell us about how you got your start.
Yeah, for sure. So it is crazy. Like Erin said, I am from Seattle, Washington, and I got my start by just going off to college. Right after high school,
What
I
high school
wanted to
did you
get
go to?
educated. I went to Renton.
You went to Renton?
I went to Renton.
Okay, that's probably why. That's probably why. Okay, I went to Rainier Beach, and I went to
Okay. Okay.
Garfield. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
mhm.
all my family went to beach, so we're good.
Oh, okay, I probably know
But
your
I
family.
got my For sure. I got my start just really venturing off. When I was younger, I always was into like really writing. And so I really wanted to learn a lot more about our culture, that the Pacific Northwest does not offer. So I decided to go to a HBU and I really wanted to take up just writing and journalism.
Where'd you go?
And once I went to a school called Wilberforce University, shout out to the Woo.
Where is it at?
It's in Ohio, and it's actually the first Black college ever. So definitely, when you
Wow.
have some time, take a look and do your research. There's so much rich history on Wilberforce University's campus. So again, shout out to the Will. So I went to school and decided to really learn about my culture and my roots and learn more about just writing and journalism. And then during my mass media classes, there were tons of different things we learned about. And one of them, of course, was public relations. And so at the time, I wasn't really feeling it so much. Right when I was getting ready to graduate, one of my professors told her, was like, I don't know if this writing thing's for you. You may want to look into public relations. And I looked at her like, girl, you gonna wait till I'm getting ready to walk across the stage to let me know that's not my niche. But it was awesome and it was a blessing. Shout out to Dr. Moore who turned me this way into public relations. So by the time I went into graduate school, I decided to get my master's in marketing and communications. And what that did was that just really opened the door for me furthermore to really learn about just the umbrella of communications and what
Mhm.
falls underneath since I wasn't so sure about public relations.
Mhm.
So during my time in graduate school, I also did some studying abroad in London, England at the University of London. Shout out to the UK. And when I was out there, I realized I was with a cohort of folks, and I realized that a lot of people were just hitting me up back in the States for something. And my girlfriend was looking at me and she was like, girl, you can like start getting paid for that. You need to look to see what this really means. And I was like,
Mhm.
oh, okay. And it was little things. It was things like, can you connect me with so and so? Or, hey, I know you know the folks that are at this radio station, but I know you can make it happen. Can you do this? Or can you get
That's
me
my
on this
life.
publication? And,
That's my whole entire
I was
life.
like, I know a few people, like, and I guess I can try to put in a word or two, but back then I was just doing it off of GP. I had no idea what that really, really entailed.
Mhm.
And so by the time I graduated and got my master's degree, I really, really thought about what my girlfriend had told me and what she said. And then I did my research on what does it mean to really be a publicist outside of what I learned in school. And I realized that I was already doing the work. And so that's
Mhm.
kind of really how it really started, just kind of me already kind of in the sphere, but not really knowing what it was really, really called. So I really did that research. Because I mean, the undergrad was good, but there's a lot of things in undergrad that they don't really teach you about the
Mhm.
industry or about public relations,
Right.
even in grad school. So it all kind of started that way.
So, can you talk a little bit about what public relations is? Because I find that a lot of people or clients that I have, people that reach out to me, they have no idea. So when, they think that as a publicist that we are their managers, we are their promoters, we are their this, we are their that, we are supposed to, their booking agent, things like that.
Right,
And
their assistant.
yes. Oh, you don't even want me to tell you about I won't even put her out because she is a celebrity. I won't even bust her out. But she felt like I should have been her assistant too. But that's not what a publicist does. So if you can explain a little bit for the audience, because there's a lot of people who do reach out to me and who do need a publicist or who's looking for someone in that space. And I necessarily don't do that work anymore, but I definitely would love to refer a lot of people to you.
Yay.
So let's talk about exactly what that is.
Yeah, let's dive deep. And the layman's way that I put it, so that way everybody can understand without the fancy smanchy jargon, is my job as a publicist is to really allow my client to be seen through their talents, through their good works, through whatever there is that they're doing, and be seen in a lot of different mediums, or platforms, I should say. So being able to put you in the spotlight, whether it's on TV, whether it's on radio, whether it's doing like a mini podcast, whether nowadays it could just be a social media live like we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. So really, in layman's terms, a publicist's job is really to get their client in the media and allow their client to really tell their story and allow them to really shine. Mm-hmm. A lot of folks really get public relations misconstrued with marketing, and that's not our job. Our job is not to sell your product. Our job is not to make sure that you're getting all this income generated from the media that you're getting. Our job is to simply make sure that you have that media attention that you deserve.
Mm-hmm.
If you're ready for it.
If you're ready for it, right. Well, that's another thing too, because a lot of times people say that they're ready, but they're really not. So,
no.
So with public relations and what your services that you offer, what do you offer as a publicist? Because you also have a marketing firm as well. So
I do. So my specialty is really brand creation and curating a brand from the ground up, and then kind of putting that into the spotlight on different platforms through the media. So we specialize a lot in the digital strategies. We do provide the marketing as well, but a lot of the times when meeting with clients, I make sure they know from the very beginning what's the difference between public relations and marketing. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, a lot of my clients, believe it or not, they're not really ready for public relations. They're really ready for really identifying who they are, what their brand is, then first marketing that, and then later establishing that public relations realm.
So let me kind of cut you off really quick. When is someone ready for a publicist?
Oh, you want me to get into that?
I do.
Question. Great question. A lot of folks don't know. For one, make sure you got the budget. Make sure you.
That should be number one. That number one.
Make sure before you actually look into public relations, you really research it. See what it's about. Get your hands dirty, just through Google. Nowadays, you can Google it. Like, what does a publicist really do? Mm-hmm. You have to make sure that you really have a story to tell that is really captivating, and not just like, oh, I drank a big bottle of water today, I finished 6 bottles. That's not it. It needs to be timely. You need to have a story to tell. You also have to make sure, and a lot of people don't discuss this, but I like to get transparent with it. You have to make sure that you're ready in a sense of your mindset is ready. You have the time for public relations, because a lot of times, we as publicists, it's like a marriage. We also need our clients to be ready to be interviewed. We might need imagery from you, and you might not have images. And I'm talking about high res images, not like the cell phone imagery. Mm-hmm. And that stuff kind of costs money. Mm-hmm. Some relationships, sometimes folks may have a manager, like you said, they may have an agent, and they have to make sure that they have those conversations with those folks to let them know, hey, I kind of want a publicist. So that way we can have those connections as well. And I think there's a lot of things that folks can really do to get themselves ready for public relations, but it really starts with that research.
Absolutely. And then on the marketing side too, you do marketing. So you do a little bit more for they have that option to not just do, just to be visible, but to also get their product out there and marketing and market it and promote it. So That's
for
amazing. For
sure.
those of you guys who are just tuning in, I am talking to Jasmine Raylin, who has a marketing firm, and also she is a publicist. And if you go to her website, which is um, JR, theelitemarketingfirm.com. You can find out more information about her and her services. We have been talking about what a publicist is, and there's a lot of times there's a lot of confusion, and I get this question oftentimes.
Right.
And when we're on Clubhouse, they have a lot of different
Oh.
a lot of different rooms and things like that, and people are talking about, you know, exactly what a publicist is and what they do and that kind of thing. And then in our groups that we are on, we're in several groups together, and so that's
Yes.
always the running theme, and people are you know, trying to figure out. And I think with me, when I was doing the work, I kind of felt like I was doing way more than what a publicist. So I was
Right.
doing the marketing and the promotion
Absolutely.
and the brand creation and this and that and that, and I wasn't really honing in on, actually, this is really what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
booking you, you know, to get money, which is what a lot of times. When I talked to someone recently who was on a reality show, and his question was, "Am I, you know, how am I going to get paid?" You know, and so
Mm.
that's always the question, like, how am I going to get paid? So where's my money coming from and stuff like that. So I'm glad that you have expounded on what a publicist actually is for those of them, for those of you
Yeah.
guys who are actually thinking about needing a publicist. And then also the biggest thing too is a budget. Make sure you have that budget, because a lot of
Absolutely.
times people don't even know what it costs to have a publicist, and it's not
Right.
like a manager. And I think a lot of times when people come to me, they think that, you know, because managers, you just get a percentage off of, you know, everything that's
Right.
booked and that kind of thing, but that's not. This is different.
Not the
You know, you're
case.
on a retainer, and it's a monthly retainer.
Yep.
And if you're doing campaign, I mean,
Yep.
there's just a lot to it. There's social media. There's a lot to it. So thank you for
Yeah.
shedding some
And they're
light on
definitely
that. So before we jumped on the live, you talked about something that you are getting ready to launch, and I, and so I'm excited for you to talk about that. Can you tell us a little bit more about your new project that you are launching, or your new company that you're launching?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I am getting ready to launch boutique stationery. It'll be online, and it's called Office Party, and it's all cool things stationery: notebooks, pens, pencils, travel mugs, coffee mugs. You know, ladies, we love a good notebook and some
Let
pen
me tell
and
you something.
paper.
And
Listen,
even in the digital technology world, I still have to
I'm telling
have
you.
a
Hmm.
notepad and a pen,
Yeah,
and you should see my couch. I have this sectional,
girl.
and I'm part of the sectional. Like, there's this part where everybody can sit down, but then there's this one part of
Right.
the sectional, and I have my journals, I have this, I have
I
that,
love
and I
it.
write everything down. And I know a lot of times people will be like, put it in your thing. That doesn't work for me. And I like the pretty pens, and I like the
Yes,
notepad.
I
I like
love it.
all of that. That is so dope. But continue on. I'm sorry.
Yes, I love it. So I have always been infatuated with a good notebook, just like you. Some pens, just
Mhm.
everything dealing with stationery. I'm kind of a hoarder with it. It's kind of a shame. And I don't know, like during this time with COVID, yes, I do a lot of networking, and I do a lot. That's something else that, going back to the first question, very first question you asked me, that helped me get into this. I do a lot of networking and talking to people, and
Mhm.
definitely staying within my industry. Shout out to Women in PR, an organization that I am a part of. They do a
Yes.
lot of work with.
Hmm.
Through that organization, we had a real deal conversation. We were like, you know, it's a pandemic going on. If you cannot move forward with your A1, which is being a publicist, what are you going to do? Do you
Hmm.
have any side hustles? It's
Hmm.
okay to have some side hustles.
Hmm.
And through that, you know, I really thought about, like, what is it that I just loved naturally? And I love everything dealing with stationery. It's really strange. So I'm very excited about this new business that I'm getting ready to launch. I'm looking over in the corner, looking at all the product that's been coming in. And so this summer, it will officially be launching. It is called Office Party Boutique Stationery. And in the near future, I also will be expanding that business to event planning as well.
Oh, Oh, wow. That's good to know. Good to know. One day when I get married, maybe you can plan my wedding.
Girl, check me out. I should be up and jumping by then.
Okay. Oh, wait. What you trying to say? You trying to say it's going to be a while from now? No,
No,
I'm just
listen, because
playing.
I'm waiting too, you know.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Well, for those of you guys who are just tuning in, we are talking to Ms. Jasmine Raylin, who is a publicist. She has her own marketing firm, and she's getting ready to launch her own stationery boutique firm and eventually event planning company. So definitely you guys want to make sure you stay in touch with her. Can you tell everyone your social media, how they can follow you?
Absolutely. On Instagram, you can find me at Jasmine_Raylin. And on Facebook, you can find me at Jasmine Raylin.
And Raylin is spelled R-A.
Raelynn. And Jasmine is with an S and not a Z.
Jasmine with an S. And so for our last and final question, and I've been asking all of our special guests that have been on throughout the month, and everyone has had the same answer, but then they expounded but everyone has had the same answer. But if there's someone, a woman in history that has been an inspiration to you in your life, and if so, who would that be?
For sure. Oh, there's so many women in history that has been an inspiration to me. I would say I'm gonna spin it and saying my history is really my great grandmother. She was Native American, and she experienced so much. And my great grandfather, who was African American, they both together experienced so much. And she started the lineage in our family to have your own and become your own and be your own. And that really just touched me and inspired me. And it's trickled down from my grandmother to my mom and to me. And so I think just her starting that, and just the world was different, many years ago. And so a lot of the things that my great grandmother faced is a lot of things, strangely, that we're facing today, just kind of in a different spin, if that makes any sense. And just knowing kind of the way that she operated and maneuvered during that time, it kind of gives me hope on how I can operate and maneuver during these times that we're in right now. So definitely with my history, she has been just a huge inspiration to me.
Shout out to the grandmothers. So full of wisdom.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
Full of wisdom. Surely miss both of mine.
Yeah, for sure.
But again, thank you so much, Jasmine, for taking some time out this morning or this afternoon to talk with us on this special segment. We definitely wanted to celebrate you today, so thank you for being a part of this. And for Women's History Month. And for those of you guys who are just tuning in, this is Jasmine Raylin, and we have been talking with women throughout the month of March, celebrating Women's History Month. And so YaLife Media and Marketing, Reaching Houston, Urban 411 Entertainment, PromoteBlackAuthors.com definitely wanted to recognize women throughout the month of March. And not just the month of March, we're going to be recognizing companies throughout the year. But this month, we definitely wanted to pay tribute to women who have done some amazing things in our community. So again, thank you, Jasmine, for being a special guest. Thank you for all of you guys who continue to watch. We will have some more special guests next week. So make sure you follow us on all our social media sites. Make sure you go to Reaching Houston and follow us. Again, special thanks to our first guest that was on earlier, Dr. Crystal Jenkins. And again, thank you, Jasmine. And if you guys, again, are looking for a publicist or you're looking for someone to help your brand, and I know you guys are because you guys call me all the time. So if you are looking for someone who to help you get that extra exposure, make sure you check out Jasmine Raylin on all social media sites. And then again, tell them what your website is.
Jasmine Raylin, theelitemarketingfirm.com.
There you go. And so make sure you guys go follow her. And again, thank you so much. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you all for tuning in.
Thanks, Erin.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.